Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. The word of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit have a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passes away, and another generation cometh. But the earth abideth forever. The sun also arises, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. The wind goeth towards the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again, according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the places from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of the things which are to come, with those that shall come after. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail have Yah given unto the sons of men to be exercised therewith. I've seen all the works that are done under the sun. Behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanton cannot be numbered. Ecclesiastes 1:16. I communed with my own heart, saying, Lo, I come to a great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yeah, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. I commune with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to a great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that were before me in Jerusalem. Yeah, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2. I said in my heart, Go to now, and I'll prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also was vanity. I said of laughter, it's mad, and of mirth, what do it? I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of man, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. I made me great works. I builded me houses and planted vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards and planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of water to water therewith the wood that bring forth the trees. Ecclesiastes 2:7. I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house. I also had great possessions, great and small cattle, above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and a particular treasure of kings and of the provinces. I got me men singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. And whatsoever my eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy. For my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. For what can the man do that cometh after the king? Even that which was done already. Ecclesiastes 2:13. Then I saw that wisdom exceedeth folly, as far as light exceedeth darkness. Ecclesiastes 2:14. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happened to them all. I said in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why then was I more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also was vanity. Ecclesiastes 2:16. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever, seeing that which now is, in the days to come, shall be forgotten. And how dieth the wise man? As the fool. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Therefore I hated life, because the work that's wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. Yeah, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that should be after me. And who knoweth whether he should be a wise man or a fool? Yet he shall have rule over all my labor, wherein I labor, and wherein I show myself wise under the sun. This also is vanity. Therefore I went about, caused my heart to despair of all the labor I took under the sun. Well, there is a man whose labor is in wisdom and in knowledge and in equity. Yet to a man that has not labored therein shall he leave it for his portion. This also is vanity and a great evil. Or what have a man of all his labor, and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he labored under the sun? All his days are sorrow, and his travail grief. His heart taketh not rest at night. This also is vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of Elohim. For who can eat, or who can hasten hereunto more than I? Elohim giveth to a man that's good in his sight, wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that's good before Elohim. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. Time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which was planted. Time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. Time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. Time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I've seen all the travail which Elohim hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his own time. Also he set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. And I know that there's no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of Elohim. Ecclesiastes 3 and 14. I know that whatsoever Elohim doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor nothing taken from it. But Elohim do it, that men should fear before him. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be already been. And Elohim require that which is past. Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. Moreover, I saw under the sun that the place of judgment, wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And I said in my heart, Elohim shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. And I said in my heart, concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Elohim might manifest in them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalleth the sons of man befalleth beasts. For even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah. They have one breath, for all is vanity, and all go to one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth downward unto the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be done after him? Ecclesiastes 4. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed. And they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. And I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. But on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead, more than the living which are yet alive. Yeah, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that's done under the sun. Again, I considered all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. A fool folded his hands together and eateth his own flesh. Better is a handful with quietness than both hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone and there's not a second. Yeah, he have neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor, neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither say he, for whom do I labor, and breathe my soul of good. This also is vanity. Yeah, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that's alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. Ecclesiastes 4:12. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and wise child than an old foolish king who will no more be admonished. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living that walketh under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people. They also that come after shall not rejoice in them, even of all that have been before them. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Keep thy foot when thou goest into the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear and to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For Elohim is in heaven, and thou is upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of businesses, and a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. When thou vowest a vow unto Elohim, defer not to pay it, for he have no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. It is better that thou should not vow, than thou should vow a vow and not pay. Ecclesiastes 5:6. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore Elohim be angry at thy voice, and destroy the works of thy hand. For the multitude of dreams and many words, there's also diverse vanities. But fear thou Elohim. Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regarded, and there be higher than they. The profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. For he that loveth silver will not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This also is vanity. When goods increase, they are increased at Edom. And what good is there to the owners thereof, save in beholding them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I've seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail. And he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return. Ecclesiastes 5 and 14. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked he shall return and go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor which he may carry in his hand. And this was also a sore travail, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit have he that labored in the wind? All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he have much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Ecclesiastes 5 and 18. Behold, that which I've seen is good and comely for one to eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor that he had taken under the sun all the days of his life, which Elohim giveth him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Elohim. Every man also to whom Elohim hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Elohim. For he shall not remember the days of his life, because Elohim answered him in the joy of his heart. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6. There's an evil that I've seen under the sun that's common among men. A man to whom Yah had given riches and wealth and honor, so that he wanted nothing for his soul of all that he desired. Yet Elohim give him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth of it. This is vanity and an evil disease. If a man begat 100 children, and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul be not filled with good, and also that he have no burial, I say, that an untimely birth was better than he. For he cometh in vanity, and departeth in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Ecclesiastes 6 and 5. Moreover, he has not seen the sun, nor known anything. This hath more rest than the other. Yeah, though he live 1,000 years twice told, yet he seen no good. Do all not go to one place? All the labor of a man is for his mouth, and yet his appetite is not filled. What have the wise more than the fool? What have the poor that knoweth to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wondering of the desire. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which has been is named already, and it's known that it's a man. Neither may he contend with them that's mightier than he. Seeing that there be many things that increase vanity, what is a man the better? But who knoweth what's good for a man in this life? All the days of his vain life which he spend as a shadow. But who can tell a man what shall come after him under the sun? Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and a day of death than the day of one's birth. It's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that's the end of all men, the living led to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This is also vanity. Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what's the cause that the former days were better than these? But thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is a profit to them that see the sun. Wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom give life to them that have it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Consider the work of Elohim, for who can make straight that which he had made crooked? In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in a day of adversary, consider. Elohim also have set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in my days of vanity. There's a just man that perishes in his righteousness, and there's a wicked man that prolongeth his life in wickedness. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Ecclesiastes 7:17. Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? It's good that thou should take hold of this. Yeah. Also, from this, withdraw not thy hand. But he that feareth Elohim shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men that are in a city. For there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not. So take no heed unto all the words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise have cursed others. All this I've proved by wisdom. I said, I'll be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceedingly deep, who can figure it out? I apply my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bends. Whoso pleases Elohim shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that Elohim hath made man upright, but they thought out many inventions. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8. Who's as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of things? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that, in the regard of the oath of Elohim, be not hasty to go out of his sight, and stand not in the evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleases him. Where the word of the king is power, and who may say unto him, what doest thou? Ecclesiastes 8:5. Whosoever keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there's the time and the judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be, but who can tell him when it'll be? There's no man that has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither have he power in the day of death. There's no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that were given to it. Ecclesiastes 8:8. All this I've seen, and applied my heart unto every work that's done under the sun. There's a time when one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. Ecclesiastes 8:10. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy. And they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This also is vanity. Because the sentence of an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Ecclesiastes 8:12. Though the sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them which fear before him. It shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, but he feareth not before Elohim. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be a just man unto whom it happened according to the work of the wicked. Again, there be a wicked man to whom it happened according to the work of the righteous. I say that this also is vanity. Then I commune with mirth, cause man had no better thing under the sun than to eat, to drink, and to be merry. For that shall abide with him of all his labor, all the days of his life, which Elohim give him under the sun. When I apply my heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that's done upon the earth, for also there is that neither day nor night seeth sleep with his eyes. Then I beheld all the work of Elohim, that a man cannot find out the work that's done under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Further, though a wise man think to know it, he shall not be able to find it. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. For all this I considered in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of Elohim. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that's before him. All things come alike to all. All things come alike to all. There's one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean, and to him that's unclean, to him that sacrifices, and to him that sacrifices not. As to the good, so is the sinner, and he that sweareth, as he that feareth an oath. Ecclesiastes 9:3. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event even unto all. Yeah, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart all while they live. And after that, they go to the dead. Ecclesiastes 9:3. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there's one event unto all. Yeah. Also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart while they live. And after that, they go to the dead. For to him that's joined to the living there's hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Ecclesiastes 9:5. For the living know that they should die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more portion forever. Anything that's done under the sun. For the living know that they should die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more reward. For the memory of them is forgotten. Ecclesiastes 9:7. Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart. For Elohim now accept thy works. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Ecclesiastes 9:9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life. And with thy labor that thou takest under the sun, whatsoever thou findest thy hand to do, do it with thy might. And in thy labor which thou takest under the sun, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where thou goest. Ecclesiastes 9:11. And I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. And I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor riches to the men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falls suddenly upon them. Ecclesiastes 9:12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, as the birds that are caught in a snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth upon them. Ecclesiastes 9:13. This wisdom I've seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he had by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Ecclesiastes 9:17. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So do a little folly him that's in reputation for wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. Yeah, also, when he that's a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, and he saith to everyone that he's a fool. For if the spirit of the ruler rises up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifies great offenses. There's an evil which I've seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. I've seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. He that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and whosoever breaketh the hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whosoever removeth stone shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered by it. If the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then he must put to it more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. If the iron be blunt, and he whet not the edge, then he must put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and the babbler is no better. Surely a serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow him up. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous and madness. A fool is also full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him, who can tell him? The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of hands the house droppeth through. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For the bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which have wings shall tell the matter. Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falleth towards the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow. He that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. For thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones grow in the womb of her that's with child. Even so, thou knowest not the works of Elohim, who maketh all. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand. For thou knowest not whether they shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing is it for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, and yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many, and all that come is vanity. Rejoice, O ye young man, in the days of thy youth, and let not thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thy eyes. For remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Know thou that all these things Elohim will bring thee into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds after the rain, and the strong men shall bow themselves, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the grinders cease because they're few. Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the street, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is nigh, and fear shall be in all the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Elohim who gave it. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, all is vanity. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yeah, he gave good heed and sought out to set in order many proverbs. Ecclesiastes 12:10. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as gilds, as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given by one shepherd. Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further by these, my son, be admonished. Of the making of many books, there's no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh. But let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Elohim shall bring every work in a judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.